How many pictures do you actually need to be successful? How many pictures do you need to include in that profile to be successful? Well, it's kind of a trick question because you're probably thinking, well, 5, 7, 22, doesn't matter because the answer is actually just one. One picture can be enough. All right. I'm not saying that's the best strategy, and I'm not going to promote it as the best strategy, but it's truly the answer is how many pictures do you need? Just one. All right. Because what are we trying to do? Are we trying to get married? No. Are we trying to get a date with this picture? No. Are we trying to just go zero to hero with one picture? No. All we're trying to do with our picture or our profile in its entirety is just to get a conversation started, to develop that interest, to start communication, all right? To get to know each other. That's all we're trying to do with our pictures or just our profile. So to do that, we just need one picture, but it has to be a damn good one if you only have one. So that's not going to be my recommendation because it's such a high risk, low reward sort of strategy. So let me give you something a little bit more responsible. All right. So right off the bat, let me just remind you that the desired result for your pictures and your written content and your overall profile is just, again, to get a conversation started. All right. So it's not to get a date. It's not to make someone fall in love with you. So temper all that sort of enthusiasm and that sort of result and start smaller. Let's start with the baby step of let's just get the conversation going. You have to have that interest. So we need a picture to get that interest. Now, for me, as a dating coach, I want to share with you that what I see men doing and what I see women doing, generally speaking, women put too many pictures, men don't put enough or don't put enough good pictures. All right, so the range that I think is safe, that kind of includes everything that we need to cover if we're trying to attack this from a very responsible way as far as picture inclusion, I would say we can get it all done within 3 to 5 pictures. Any more than that, it's not necessary. And I know a lot of ladies out there have some fantastic pictures, but that doesn't mean you need more than 5. Men are very visual, and we really can have an idea and identify whether we approve of you really after one picture. All right. So if you have a good picture, we probably have enough to see it. Definitely by 3 to 5, we have that. And I would like to say that I previously had kind of thought that, like I could go all the way to 7 because I know women have a lot of great pictures, but truly, I don't think you need to go over 5 anymore because I think we need to keep it concise, keep it simple, and show our best. And beyond 5, there's not much to be gained from 5 to 6 to 7. And definitely, we don't need more than 7. So if you have more than 7, for sure, scale back to 7 and maybe consider going down to 5. Now, for you men out there, you need to at least have 3 pictures. That's a responsible. That's a responsible sort of advice as far as how many you need to get to. You can certainly, like I said, have one if it's dynamite, but that's not a great strategy. Now, what I do want to share with you then is what sort of pictures do you both men and women need to have then in your profiles to be successful? Well, this isn't new news. I've talked about this in other videos, but I'll recap, okay? Some pictures that you definitely really need to include in your profile to make it kind of inclusive of everything that people are looking for is, well, you need to have a close-up. You also need to have a full body picture. You also need to have other pictures that reveal your personality, your lifestyle, and your interests, all right? So how many pictures does that require? Well, probably at least 3, if we're trying to cover all those bases. And it's not to say that there isn't overlap. One picture could kind of show almost everything, but we want to give people variety. And we also want to give people bait. What do I mean by bait? I mean bait so that people have something to bite on so that they have something to message us about, like ladies, and I'll say for you gentlemen too, if you want more people to message you first, you need to give them some good bait. Give them something good to bite on that, like, oh, I could message them about that. Because I'll tell you, especially from the men, one of their complaints is, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know how to start a conversation. So if we can make that a little bit easier for each other, that is going to be a step in the right direction. All right, now, I said those pictures in your profile need to have, the full body picture, more of a close up that shows, people want to see what your face looks like, and also then your personality, your interests, and your lifestyle. We want to see those covered. But then there's your featured profile picture. That's the one that everybody's going to see first, and that's super important because you need to understand not everybody's going to go through your entire profile looking at all your pictures, just like they're not going to read all your content, just like you don't look at everyone's pictures. I'm guessing you have figured out by now that You can't possibly look at everybody's pictures. You've streamlined things and developed a strategy for doing things faster. Well, it doesn't take long before everyone else does that. So if you need to, if you're going to do anything, you need to have a dynamite featured profile picture. You need to make sure that you have at least one picture that stands out. So even if it's, regardless of whether it's a close up or full body, or if it's showing your personality, your interest, your lifestyle, this featured profile picture needs to be the one that cannot be classified as anything average, ordinary, or boring. You want to stand out. You want to draw attention to yourself. And I think that's something that's attainable for everyone. They have that one dynamite picture that just really shows that twinkle in their eye or catches them at the right moment. And that picture is going to be different for everyone. But I'm telling you, everyone needs to have that picture. So again, how many pictures do you actually need to be successful? And how many do you need to include in your online dating profile? The answer is just one. All right, now that's just not, to me, a very safe and responsible sort of strategy. So I would tell you to go with 3 to 5. It's hard to win at the online dating game when you haven't been taught the foundational lessons that impact your experiences and success. So let's change that. Click here to watch all 8 videos from our Online Dating 101 playlist, and click below to visit onlinedatingdynamics.com to take advantage of free dating and online dating resources and to learn more about our online dating game strategy guide.